my God, I'm glad we did that because, we were reviewing the idea of making sure everyone's characters were cut up. And I feel bad because Chris, I think you were running Tyr as a level 11 bard, but he should have been a level 12 at least. Because in the campaign, I was like, why is Tyr still level 11? What happened? And I think we just normal.
Well, especially because he was talking about his AC and stuff, and maybe if he had a chance to tinker with that and stuff, it might have saved him from some of the damage.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Soaked up. Yeah,
that last session was pretty crazy. And if anyone's out there watching us today, definitely go check out that last session, the Battle of the Hell's Mouth Gate. That was there was a lot going on, and I'll be honest, I was surprised that Gelmir pulled the cards before the fight. That felt a little terrifying. And I was reviewing the cards that were pulled. I'm like, oh, okay. I know what's left, and I'm terrified at what's left, but that's okay. This will be fine. So our team have finally made it into the Shadowfell, pursuing Wintrude's sister and her group. Finding the remains of her group over time while traveling through the Forest of Despair, the team encountered the hag that has been dwelling in this ancient realm of a forest and capturing souls that have tried to make it through it to the Shadar Fortress, has populated the forest with the undead of her choosing through her capture and her relationship with the cauldron. The team encountered her, freed Wintrude's sister, and destroyed the hag while maintaining control over the cauldron, which I'm still not sure what Shogo's going to do with that, but it could be interesting. The team then, after freeing Wintrude's sister, traversed through the remainder of the woods and came into the crag fields of the Hell's Mouth, pursued, after a bit of a rest, pursued the access to the Hell's Mouth Gate. Once there, they attempted to begin to answer arcane riddles of the gate, and blurting out answers without, patiently waiting. With each failed answer, undead creatures came through the gate, as well as the Shadar undead army began to populate the walls as well. However, once the gate was destroyed, as brute force was chosen this time over intellectual achievement, once the gate was destroyed, the apparition or spirit of Chenix was banished and was not sent back with the other 6 remnants of the pantheon of the disciples. And the gates are open. The undead creatures no longer able to hold their corporeal forms, while the others begin to amuse about. Alexander has pushed on over the Tempest Bridge. And I believe I had you make a wisdom save at some point, Alex?
Yes. And I passed.
Do you remember what that was? It was pretty high, wasn't it?
Yeah, I have a...
Is there a log from last time or something? Or?
Should be in there. I wrote down a 21, but I couldn't remember if that was right.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Okay.
I think that's...
Yeah, it was definitely at least a 30.
I saw there. I see in the log. There's
I don't know how I feel about that, Gelmir.
Just roll now again, just in case. But
no, you're fine. You're good, because I do remember you passing it. The bridge arcs over a strange ravine. Thousands of individual silhouettes holler and scream up towards your direction as you stare down while crossing the bridge. A fortress entrance like this always looks bigger and feels bigger, but your mind is beginning to see other things here. There are roads that interlink with roads. There are buildings that jut straight up and there are buildings that go sideways into each other. There's a cacophony of screams and hellish background while you're on this bridge. And for a brief moment, a whisper of temptation has you considering leaping off the bridge, but you force your way through it and find yourself on the other side. When you look back over your shoulders at the others near the Hell's Mouth Gate, it's almost like they're miles away from you now. You can see them, but not really see them. And then the noise of the city is just this drone of mumbles and secret whispers and sounds of conspiratory discussions in dark alleyways and darkened windows. It's almost like this perpetual sound of conspiring forms that you can't see. Standing on the edge of this for you, Alexander, it feels like you've just moved from one place to another, and now you're seeing the vastness of the interior of this place spread out about you.
Right. And do I see the rest of the party behind me?
They're there, but they feel like they're very far away. Like a moment you stepped off the bridge, it was almost like one of those zoom out optics that as soon as you stepped off the bridge, they went from being right behind you in the Hell's Mouth Gate to almost like the whole thing feels like it's miles away.
I guess I'll initially wait to see if they are coming closer, and if not, I will kind of just move forward to whatever is sort of attracting me to and propelling me to kind of go.
Okay. So for the rest of you, the moment you saw Alexander move up onto the bridge, at some point you thought you saw him step off the bridge, but you no longer see him. All you can see now is the vastness of the city and this slow growing temporal energy, like this slow growing temporal energy form off in the distance.
Would I know the name of this bridge? Do I know that its name is the whatever it is, the Tempest Bridge?
You give me a history check.
Okay. Let's do that just to start. 15.
15. Knowing where you are, the chances are that bridge is a demarcation. The Hell's Mouth Gate feels like a protective tomb-like entrance that Chenix the Witted was attached to. With the destruction of the gate and his banishment from here, his connection with the other 6 disciples is probably severed. You've probably figured that much out.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge feels like you're crossing over into another final area, like a space within a space.
So I see that Alex disappears, and that I clasp the amulet, and I say, "The bridge," to cast legend lore.
Oh, okay.
Because I can cast with the amulet.
Are you burning a spell slot or ritual casting?
Oh, so I can't remember. I'd have to check my notes where I got this, but I got an amulet of the demon's eye.
That's right. And using the amulet lets you legend lore.
Once per day, I can cast on a creature,
right.
object, or place.
The bridge definitely reveals itself to you. There is a sense that the bridge will take you out of the Shadowfell. It was built by Chenix. Its legend is that it will take you to an entry point called the Pit of Vision, and it sits on the other side of the Great Tempest storm that Hollister Blackcloak used to protect and preserve his form.
Okay.
I don't know where Alex went, but this bridge leads out of the Shadowfell. By continuing to pursue Chenix and Alistair, we are exiting the Shadowfell. And I don't know what that means for our sanity, but do we just go after him? I don't know where he went.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
I think we have to. It is unfortunately the fate of the parent to have to chase after wandering children.
Sounds great. All the time over here, I start to lose my time.
Yeah, and if it makes you feel any better, dealing with me these past few days, weeks, months, years, however long it's been, should help with the insanity part.
Okay, all right, we're just going.
I kind of look back one last time, and I just start walking towards the bridge.
So, Shogo, are you taking the cauldron with you still?
Yeah, my family is helping me carry it. Though at this point, I'm extremely wary of what influence this place is going to have. I'm sort of bracing myself for it.
So anyone crossing the bridge, including pets, family members, anyone crossing the bridge, I need a wisdom save, please.
Wisdom saves.
This is what I was afraid of.
Before we cross the bridge, or as we see Alex start, do we notice anything weird going on? Like with him?
I mean, when you saw him get on the bridge, and then the moment he stepped off the bridge, you lost track of him. You don't see him anywhere.
Actually, I just recalled my family got pulped.
Yeah, I thought you brought him back, though, to carry the cauldron. I thought that's
I don't
what you
think
were
I had
doing with your-
a chance to do that.
Okay. Well, we could say while Alexander was walking the bridge, going over, that you could take that time now if you want to.
I got a 15.
15, okay.
23 for Wintrude.
23 for Wintrude. Gelmir?
15 for Gelmir, 18 for Alphonse, and
Who the hell is Alphonse?
Oh, yeah.
And then a 4 for Gribbets.
Oh, yeah, the Death Knight.
What?
Tier's like, what? Gone for one session and he's got a Death Knight named Alphonse? He was very upset that he couldn't keep his giant either.
Yeah.
It's a result of one of the cards he pulled from the deck of
Yeah.
many things.
No shit.
I've got
There was a lot of
giant,
shenanigans.
I also had a zombie giant for a little while.
What cards got pulled? Did any bad cards get pulled?
I also have an extra mouth in my forehead and 2 eyeballs in my hands.
He has like an avatar, some deity embedded in him now, right? Is the thing?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a goblin god stuck in my
Yeah.
body.
Do you speak from both mouths now, or is there one you?
But I speak from my mouth and it speaks from its mouth.
It was Metzelfix, right?
Yeah.
Can you feed it, or does it want to eat?
I like how I imagine like Tyr and Gelmir crossing the bridge together, and like Tyr's like touching. Does it eat? Like touching your forehead? Does it get hungry?
Here's a very responsible pet owner. He's like really sounds.
At one point, Gelmir takes his hands by the mouth like this. It's like
Make it blink. Make it blink.
Why is that?
Wink. Wink,
Why
wink.
is
It's
the
winking.
former,
It's winking at you.
why is the former rock star here? Why is it talking to us? We should. Oh,
Be
sorry.
thankful I've graced your presence.
Oh, you're gonna be one of those. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. All right. Anyways, we're going across that bridge. I take it.
Yeah. Alphonse, you know anything about this bridge?
Like as soon as Alphonse like steps onto the bridge, he just gets shredded out of existence. And you watch as the energy of his remains piles over the edge of the bridge and down into the image of 1,000 horrors looking upwards. And then there's just like this cackling laughter that kind of absorbs his energy as he dissipates.
I shove Mika back. Just,
Did Mika roll for a save?
I don't think I would have gone first, especially because I was carrying the cauldron with Mika.
Just no family, Shogo. No family for you.
The heck is your sister's name again?
Orlanth.
Orlanth. That's
Yeah,
right.
let me put it in the chat there.
For some reason, her
Orlanth
note
Weatherby.
didn't stick. So standing at this edge of the bridge, you guys watch as Alphonse steps on first and gets shredded out. You watch as Grivets goes to fly across it and gets shredded out. You watch as Gelmir and Tyr step onto the bridge in quiet conversation, watching this happen. Gelmir and Tyr, the voices around you pick up in a crescendo that almost deafens you. About halfway on to the bridge, this entire area begins to, you hear thousands of voices calling you to the edge of the bridge. Without even realizing it, both of you are now standing at the sides of the bridge, looking straight down at these entities, these silhouettes of shadows, calling you down to them.
My adoring fans.
The blade, without even realization, the blade's in your hand here, and you hear a familiar voice. I mean, all you gotta do is leap down there and make them yours. It's easy. I could even open a gate for you once you get their attention, and you could just join me, of course. And the blade's like pulsing each time that you're communicating with it.
I'm not really into signing autographs, so
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard, really.
just
Just
a lot of people, a lot of ink. You know, I don't even have any on me right now, so I think I'll pass.
Are you talking out loud to the sword?
Yeah.
So on the rest of you are like, I mean, even Orlanth is like, I don't know if we should cross this bridge. This is kind of scary after watching Gelmir's friend. Why is Tyr talking to his blade? Gelmir, you've wandered over to the edge, and you've watched as a second body of yourself is manifested off to the right of you. Only it's made up of the mouth and the eyes that you've incorporated into your avatar self. And your other self is looking back at you. Wow, this could be a fun trip. Want to just jump?
No, you tell them to get up here.
I don't think that's how it works. I think we're supposed to jump down there and
Look,
and speak.
I'm a god. You're a god. You tell them. They get up here. Bring Alphonse back. Bring my giant back. We got places to be.
I don't think it works like that. Here, let me help you over the edge of the bridge. This will be a lot easier down there. And like your manifest, so Wintrude, you, Shogo, and Orlanth are watching Tyr kind of haphazardly argue with themselves about leaping off the bridge.
Tyr's big, so that's kind of a thing. I grab, how to say this? I reach up and like pat Gelmir's calf.
Hey, buddy, come on down. We're walking across the bridge, right? Things to do, people to see. You got more dragons to. You got more dragons to roll over.
And you realize that as you feel something touching your calf, it looks like one of the demonic silhouettes has come out of the pit and is now standing alongside you, kind of like patting you and speaking in like some strange kind of aberrational language.
18 on the save.
18 on the second one. Okay.
During this time, I've cast Calm Emotions on the entire group, just to help people think more rationally. I'm really hesitant to go in there myself after seeing what happened to Alphonse.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Gelmir?
Yeah, I'll look at my new little demon pet and just be like, yeah, you will be the first of many new demon pet. Follow me and convince the rest of your brethren to come up here too. And I'll keep walking.
I look back at the others.
He doesn't even understand what I'm saying.
Gelmir, you watch as your second apparitional self leaps off the edge. And as it leaps off down into the pit, it's like coaxing you and talking you and convincing you to leap as well. And there's like this great blossom of energy and flame as it gets consumed, and you can hear the adulation of thousands of voices.
I jump up as best I can, and I cast light onto Gelmir's head. I try to light as lightly as I can, like donk the back of his head with my index finger.
Okay.
See if it has any effect on his.
Gelmir, give me another
overall
wisdom
being.
save, if you would, please. With advantage because of calm emotions. That was pretty flavorful. I like that.
7.
7. That's with advantage.
Yeah, 6 and a 7.
This is how we're doing it.
Your eyes flare with energy. This is clearly a demon looking for one of your bits of wisdom before it leaps off the edge of the bridge with you. I need you to... Oh, you don't have them anymore, do you? Wintrude, you took back the deck of cards, right?
I took back the deck of many things, yes.
So, Gelman, your mind is telling you to pull the deck of cards and telling you to pull a card. And as you reach into your vest, they're not there anymore.
I'll pull my crossbow bolt out, and I'll aim it at the demon. Give me the cards. Give me my cards. I need a card, demon. I need it.
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
So I dig into where I had stashed the cards and just fan them out.
You watch as this flame-riddled demon holds up the cards below you, Gelmir, and fans them out in front of you.
I take one.
You pull one. Roll a d20 for me, please.
Oh, is this going to make things any better?
That's an 8.
An 8. All right, where did I put those? No, I didn't put them there.
It was fun. Even have my special deck of cards color for my notes.
Where the heck? Oh, you better not have.
File.
No, I was doing some. Oh no, it's right. It should be in here, right? Where did I? Those got moved. God damn it! Why did it move? I did not move that tab. I don't know why it does this. OneNote sometimes really, really likes to make my life miserable. Really, really, really likes to make my life miserable. And I don't know where those went. Okay. So I saved them in a separate place in case this happened. And
I find punching the screen helps.
no. So you rolled an 8, correct?
Yep.
Okay. There is a small orb floating in the middle of the bridge. It immediately breaks the concentration of what's going on. Tyr, you feel the mind control that was over you fade. Gelmir, you watch as the demonic illusion of Wintrude fades back to Wintrude. Shogo, you see this orb just kind of float and appear in the middle of the bridge. You guys still don't know where Alexander went. You're on the bridge fighting at this maddening echo of voices and sounds coming up from the chasms. For a brief moment, there's a pause. Everyone's kind of got a sense of themselves. And then you all equally hear, oh, well, shit. What do you want? And the orb pulses with the voice. Come on, speak up. I don't have all day.
You're mine.
That's not how this works.
We're seeking passage across the bridge and seeking the resting place of Alistair Blackcloak.
What do you want from me?
Who are you? We just were trying to cross the bridge.
I'm Cord.
You're Cord.
Yeah, I'm a god.
Corn. C-O-R-N? Like the...
K-O-R-D. They call me the Storm
Oh,
Lord.
Cord!
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
They call you the what?
I'm trying to figure out the Stormlord.
But you're
I'm
an
trying to figure
orc.
out how in the world you reached me.
Stormlord Cord.
Yes, Bard. What do you record? Why am I here? Why
Is this your... Oh, the card! You were summoned because the card... Gelmir, what's on the card? What's the image on the card in your hand?
Or did it disappear already?
already got consumed? Like he pulled it, it was a key, and it flamed out of his hand.
Cord the Storm. Could you aid us in our safe passage?
Cord, we're requesting your blessing as we.
Oh.
Like,
Adventure.
lightning is kind of my thing, so if you could make more lightning stuff, that'd be cool.
Are you in need? Are you all in mental distress?
Yes.
You require. I don't understand. Only the champions can call me like this. How in the world? How are you talking to me? This doesn't make sense to me.
This little one is your champion.
Yeah, I'm a guy.
The little green fella.
Well, I think he's blue or red or something.
Red.
It's
I
hard to
was
say. I'm
red.
colorblind.
I've been blue. Now I'm reddish, bluish.
Oh,
Well, so maybe I'm not
Yes,
colorblind.
I okay. So this is how so my champions when they get an orb of intervention, they could call upon me. So you've called upon me.
Yeah.
So who pulled the card? The little goblin fella. Okay.
The red goblin.
Okay. So what do you want me to do?
Can you bring Alphonse back?
I don't know who Alphonse is.
Neither did I. He was taken too soon. I never got to find out.
We need safe passage for an entire group to get across the bridge. There is one of our adventuring party who has wandered off into the city, so it seems.
So the dead guy over there didn't pull the card. So, I mean, I'd like to do what he wants, but the person who pulls the card requests the orb of intervention. So
Well, technically, the card is not here, right? So you technically don't even know who pulled the card, right? Seems like you're acting like you have, not a lot of information on the situation at hand. So how could you know that he pulled the card and not me?
That's such a bardic response. Give me a persuasion check on that one, Tyr.
Can't believe you're gaslighting a god.
It'd be such a relief if Tyr got to make a wish or something like that. Instead of goddamn Gelmir.
17.
17?
It hit my wire. It just stopped.
17's still pretty good though. Look, I can appreciate the uniqueness of your situation. I'm not really certain that I'd want a goblin to determine my fate either. He's just as likely to ask for a large penis or a ham sandwich as he is to get all of you out of here.
Please don't give him any ideas.
ideas in
Just talk to Tyr. Just talk to the half-elf, please.
All right, so once again, I do know who pulled the card. What's confusing to me is why and how this. Okay, so I've got to do whatever Gelmir tells me to do. It's his request.
Yeah.
So you know his name now?
Yes, he's standing right there. Gods know everything.
Yeah, I'm a god.
I'm beginning.
Although it's crowded inside you, Gelmir.
Yeah, I'm a god. Why don't we discuss this as we cross the bridge? Let's just walk across this bridge, and
let's
then
walk
we'll
and
talk
talk.
about this. Yeah, and we'll figure it out by the time we get to the end.
No need to waste any of your time. Let's just
Yeah.
So
kill two birds with one stone.
So Gelmir, give me persuasion with advantage because Tyr's kind of like playing into what you're doing. Swear to God, if you guys convince this orb to follow you into Hallister Blackcloak's tomb, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Well, I rolled +0. I rolled a 19 and a 1. So going to the 19.
You know what? I put the DC at a 19 because I felt appropriate with the way Tyr got a really good roll. Okay, fine. Let's cross the bridge and we talk about this on the other side.
That's okay.
And you watch as the orb just kind of pulses and it's like floating alongside you. Shogo, unfortunately for you, as you're watching Wintrude, Gelmir, and Tyr follow the orb across the bridge, every time any of your undead children try to step onto a bridge, like onto the plank of the bridge, the part that gets close to touching anything starts disintegrating, almost as if whatever this bridge is designed to do, like you watched Alphonse get shredded out, you watched as Gribbets got shredded out, it feels like you might be passing into a different reality. You don't think your children are going to be able to come with you. The group's getting further away from you.
I've only got Mika at this point. I'm carrying the bones of the other two.
Correct.
Are the bones, I take out one of the femurs and stick it into the zone. Does the unanimated...
They're not animated, so they're not affected by the bear.
I'm sorry, Mika. And I reach in under Mika's ribcage and pull out this mass of this wriggling mass and stuff it back into myself. And Mika immediately collapses.
And you collect her bones?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you catch up with the others. Alex, waiting.
I
Sorry,
attempt to.
Yeah, I do need a wisdom save. I think you're the only one that hasn't given me one yet. Although you're in divine presence, so it may not matter. But let's put it this way: as long as you don't roll a natural 1, you'll be okay.
I rolled a 24 earlier.
Okay,
but
you're fine.
You're saying this area, despite the divine presence, rips apart undead flesh, right?
It seems to undo things that are not of natural order. And that's why you felt like Alphonse was shredded. Gribbets, who's technically a familiar, was shredded out. It just feels like this is a barrier of reality, is what it feels like.
In that case, as I cautiously reach my arm out into the area of effect, my arm spasms and basically blood just starts gushing out of my bandages. I cannot. I don't think I can get through this. Like, there's too many unnatural parts of my physiology.
What were you before your physiology changed?
Human technically, but basically I'm in a perpetual state of... My body's in a perpetual state of dying, being reanimated, being fed upon by the worms, and being consumed, regrowing, and then dying again. So I'm pretty sure if I were to walk into this area, I would be pretty much shredded from the inside out.
Never
or at least a good portion of me. Yeah. Guys, help! Can you help me with something?
Hey, Court, can you help him get through this thing too?
The orb stops for a moment. The only way I think this is gonna work. Fine. I mean, I could help you. That's your request.
I mean, I'm not asking. Tyr is asking.
The orb pauses for a moment, pulses like it's almost like taking on shades of a moon ring. You know, like it's going from cool white to like orange, getting a little bit pissed. You know, it's just like
Court, is the deal that like once you grant whatever it is Gelmir wants, like you just go back to your divine realm or something like that?
Kind of. I'm no longer distracted by this nonsense. So yes, that's how you could describe it.
Would you be willing to teleport all of us, including our currently missing member, to a safe area on the other side of the bridge?
Well, see, that's where this is kind of tricky. I can appreciate you all having a conversation with me while we cross this. We're the challenge is that we're in a reality barrier. So things that are not wholly natural can't make it through here. Your friend who made it through already must have had some incredible sheer will to make it through. So, that's why maybe they made it through. I don't know what to tell you. My divinity is keeping you all from being shredded out of existence, with the exception of the little halfling over there, or gnome, or I forget what you are.
My sister's a halfling too. We're real.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's... So look.
How is Tyr not real?
No, so Tyr was succumbing to the... Look, reality is a very strange place. Where you're going is on the other side of the reality that you know. So, unfortunately, your friend there that wants to cross the bridge, they're made up of things that might make it hard for them to across the bridge. Now, if they step into my divine, my 30-foot divine interference or protection, I guess you could call it, that might be helpful to them. I don't know, but your friend has a lot of little wiggly things in them that I don't know if you guys knew this, but your friend is kind of strange.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Also,
I'll get-
it might be worth noting, I'm not saying this out loud, but it's worth noting that the worms themselves are demonic in origin. So that might get taken out by the barrier as well.
Sugar, you're just gonna roll
Lord is
a
like a
damn
holy
life
guy.
cleric as a
Lord of
dwarf like
Storm.
everybody else in the world?
He's the Lord of the Storms. He doesn't care about demons.
Yeah, hey, Gord. Hey, Bubby. All right. Got it. Let's
Wait.
hash
Did
this
you
out
just
real
call
quick.
me Bubby?
Yeah, I got you. All right. We're going to figure this out.
Okay.
So, you want me to
I
make
don't
a
know what
request so
Bubby
you can
is.
leave?
I-
All right. I want to make this request for you. I really do. I want to help you out. Okay?
Gelmir,
See,
could you transport me in the portable hole? Just bring me into that sort of pocket
No.
reality just for a moment. So that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like it.
All right, let's just do that.
I like it. Gord, I'm not going to say you're useless. I'm just going to say, like, as of right now, I haven't seen, like, a lot of use. And I'm hoping you can change that.
The orb is like a bright orange. and you hear the chord voice, the godlike voice. Oh, this is going to be fun. And you watch as Gelmir starts looking for his portable hole and can't find it.
Where's the portable?
In the meantime, Alexander is.
You're like, Alex, you're like patiently, and like you can see them on the bridge, but like again, they're far, far away. You know what I mean? It's like, and there's a bright light that's kind of shining around them, keeping them protected, but it's strange. While you felt like you just stepped off the bridge, looking back at them, it's like they're miles away. But it appears they finally got on the bridge. Although there could be some questions as to whether or not Shogo's made it on the bridge yet.
I'm definitely, this patience thing is already hard enough for Alexander. He's not really okay with waiting. And he was like, you know what? He's thinking to himself, like, they must not supposed to. I have to do something before they get crossed. So Alexander's kind of just like screaming, like, to his patron of the Shadowfell. All right, I'm here. What do you want? Why am I doing this? And Alexander is just going to just start at this point, like, wandering forward and just pressing on and just kind of like screaming to the air that exists of like, all right, like almost like talking to himself, like believing that he's talking to his patron and kind of just
Give me a persuasion check as you're wandering through the Shadar buildings and fortress-like structure.
That wasn't the greatest of my persuasion checks. We're starting. I think I might have clicked the wrong, but it's a 7.
All around you, shadows of creatures and other beings of just darkness and grays and absorbent lights and orbs of eyes that stare at you from different secret hidden positions. Hundreds of them watching you shout out beyond like the area that you're in, and you're calling to your patron, you're shouting out, your voice echoing off the Shadar buildings and walls, and you're watching these things stare at you. And you find yourself stopped in front of a very small, simple square structure made of stone, but made of like a black granite stone. It's a very simple door on the front of it. And then coursing above it, a tempest of energy and light and energy coursing above it and crackling, but bursting with arcane energy. And then you feel a presence standing alongside you. You feel a cool hand on your shoulder. So here's the thing, Alex. Per our agreement, and the reason why I want you here, is that inside the Tempest tomb is a device that I would like for you to bring to me. Just a little thing. Nothing too demanding. Alistair has a wand. It's quite powerful. And I would like it if I help you and your friends gain access to the Tempest tomb. Can you bring me that wand, do you think?
I mean, it sounds like a real good deal for you. I will bring you the wand, but
I can certainly try to get you out of this alive. I can't guarantee your friends, but I might be able to get you out, Alex.
So once I have the wand, will they
Yes.
have safe passage back?
Perhaps. It kind of depends on the situation that you're in. My power can only extend so far beyond you.
Fair enough. All right. I might need assistance in getting that wand.
Fair. I can certainly bolster your abilities to understand things and resolve to make your will a bit stronger. Alistair is a dangerous foe. He is neither alive nor dead. He exists between many places, and the only thing holding his form from oblivion is this tomb, this Tempest temple. Once inside, I shall try to aid you as much as I can. The trick is, of course, getting in.
Okay. You can grant them safe passage across this bridge then.
Is that the extent of our agreement, then? I get your friends safely across the bridge, and you bring me the wand?
Trying to see what's really in it for me. I mean, I already got across the bridge.
That's true. You have, haven't you?
Now that I'm thinking about it.
More than just yourself to get into this tomb and deal with Alistair directly. He is dangerous and difficult.
I want a powerful position when this is all said and done. Something, if you could grant me some sort of assurance that I will have fame and fortune to some degree.
Would you like to deliver the wand to me personally, then? Is that what
That's
you're
fine.
asking?
That's fine.
Oh, that's more than fine. That's an agreement that I can agree to. You watch as the shadow dissipate. The Tempest storm above the temple structure kind of bursting with energy. For those of you on the bridge, there's a moment where the orb just patiently turns from an orange to a cool blue as it's watching Gelmir looking for the portable hole that they can't find. It's gone. Crossing that threshold had caused it to get ripped out of existence. Go ahead, dear.
As Gelmir's looking through stuff, can I walk up to the orb and whisper to him?
Sure.
My lord, oh great orb, Stormlord Cord. May I ask you a question off the record?
Well, I have to be honest. I do like the way you speak to me. Sure, continue.
I hope you're not bored as we cross this dark ford. with my question, as a reward, I'll write you a chord with my magical fretboard, of which all will be adored. I have this ring here, see, and I would like to know if wearing it will cause me any discord or cause me to absorb any otherwise negative entities. It's
A ring, you say?
It's that invisibility ring I got a while ago. I never wore it. I never put it on, but
yeah. The orb pulses with joy and excitement at proper addressing, and kind of you're getting this kind of feeling that this is what gods probably live for. The adulation and the kind of like praise that gives them the inspiration they need to maintain their connection to other planes of existence. Well, I can tell you this much. It is a ring of invisibility, but unfortunately it's cursed with banishment. The moment that you put on that ring, you would be sent someplace that you could never come back from.
Thank you kindly.
You're welcome, and I think that fulfills everything. The orb ruptures. It explodes outward as the energy fades, and all of you feel this shadow kind of overtake the area. This 6-foot-tall apparition of smoke and robes and just kind of floating there. So, your friend Alex made a deal with me.
Who are you?
That's not important, but I'm here to safely escort you across the bridge. Even your dying friend there, Shogo, who has the plague of Nurgle inside them, is free to cross the reality.
Well, you got the Nurgle? Oh
Wait,
my goodness.
I was
contagious.
May I do an insight check?
The Nurgle.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
I mean, I've heard plenty of really horrifying stories about Nurgle, so that's kind of concerning that you wouldn't even disclose that to us.
I thought I was infected. I'm not saying this out loud. I infected myself with Chaos worms, not anything to do with. All right. Well, that's. I say this. I did say this out loud. All right, that's quite an accusation. I'm not sure why you would say something like that.
You have Chaos worms in you, do you not?
That is closer to the truth, yes.
And where do you think they come from?
Probably within Caius's swarm avatar, I imagine.
Caius has many names, but the Nurgle Pit is where he forms his followers, and he casts out his creatures of abominations to pull those unwitting fools into the pit, in which he can then consume their souls. The Great Pit of Decay is almost like a creature upon itself, the creature of disease and death. Caius, Nurgle. Some even call him Bane from time to time. It just depends on your own interpretation of death. The Caius worms in you will keep your reality in check a bit longer. Wintrude, what'd you get for your roll?
24.
Unfortunately, it feels like it's speaking the truth. And you get the feeling that the cost of what Alexander did to safely get all of you across the Tempest Bridge may be unpayable. But the creature seems genuine. And so far, it's extended the ability for Shogo's unique existence to be able to cross the bridge.
I whisper over to Orlan.
I think whatever patron Alex has, it's the truth.
So here's the thing about Alex. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's gorgeous, the horns and everything. But yeah, generally speaking, tiefling already have like kind of like a traumatic past. You know what I mean? So my guess is that maybe Alexander passed. He made some weird deal, and now that deal's coming to fruition.
Yeah, but his deal, not ours. This gets us across, like even farther than we thought. That you read as much as I have. We've experienced it.
But Winthrop, I've studied pact magic. You know, it's unfortunately it's shady as shit. Like sometimes you like look at your friend Gelmir there. I mean, he's got to be clinically insane by now. He's got a mouth in his forehead. He's got eyeballs in his hands, and he was convinced that he's a god, and then he's talking to another guy.
I hold up my hand like this though, and the blue light of my eldritch energy shines through.
Hey, but Tamora, tell me that's not powerful enough to get us through that, even with this situation. Yeah. What do you think all my luck has been coming from?
I mean, maybe it's coming from the fact that you trust your friends. I don't know, but
I have learned. I would never believe. I have learned to see past all of it, all the craziness in Alex, and even this damn goblin. But we literally have luck, lady luck, on our side. We can go.
I look. I think we should follow the shadow. If it's the question is, will your friend Shogo come onto the bridge? They seem very hesitant.
As this time I put, I reach my butt into the area to see if it gets torn up. Does it?
What you begin to see is the visualization that your bandages and your psyche have kept hidden since your point of creation from the Caius worms. You're actually seeing the worms like consuming and wiggling within your plague-ridden flesh. Like what you've always imagined they are, you're now visualizing. Like the reality barrier is showing you the truth of yourself visually, confirming what you know, but your existence is remaining intact. You don't know if it's the pact leader that is the pact shadow that Alex has sent back to guide the rest of you over, but your reality is not being undone. It's just being exposed. And unfortunately, everyone else can see this as well.
Please don't look at me, I say as I start shambling forward across the bridge.
Okay.
There's nothing to see here. Nothing to hear here.
The shadow steeples invisible hands into smoky sleeves. Good, follow me. And it begins to glide you across the bridge. And the moment you all kind of glide over, step off the bridge, you watch as the bridge is now miles away from you. It's like a small, distant figure on the horizon. In the center of the Shadar city, you can see the growing Tempest-like storm above a building, and there you can see Alexander kind of like pondering the entrance. A great stone door, kind of in a very simple stone structure with about 20 feet above the structure, this ever-consuming, boiling kind of energy tempest that is kind of pulsing out and collapsing in on itself.
Thank you, Alex. I believe you may have saved my life.
Yeah, just had to make a pact with the devil.
I think it's like
you say that.
Do you hear that familiar voice in your head? Yeah, I think we should agree with Gelmir. I mean, calling it the Devil's a little kind of on the nose. I mean, there's lots of devils that exist. You know how it is, dear.
Shogo, no problem. We have to press on here. Okay, so there's this door here. It's got magic around it. Gelmir, can you go through, please?
I'm gonna do one thing real quick, just because I want to.
Gelmir, no need. No, it's unnecessary.
It's
Absolutely unnecessary.
Check
Gelmir?
this out.
No, Gelmir.
Super cool. And then I'm gonna flip out the fate card.
Oh, the one you didn't use, right?
Right, and all of my things did not disappear. They are still with us.
Okay.
All my people and my stuff.
You watch as Alphonse and Gribbets come back. All your missing stuff as you unravel and re-ravel the reality of the space that you're in. However, I need everybody else to make charisma saves, please.
Gelmir,
Ooh, charisma
Say the
saves.
fate card.
what card did you just pull out of your head?
I don't know.
21.
21 for Tyr.
22.
15.
15 for Shogo. Wintrude. 5. And Gelmir. Or, sorry, Gelmir. Alexander.
22, and it's a saving throw, right? Or do I do the regular? It's 22 if it's a saving throw, and if it's not a saving throw, -5 from that, it would be a 7.
Yeah, it's a saving throw. So, Shogo and Wintrude, pick 4 things on your person.
Shit, I don't really have that much, actually.
Wintrude does.
That's why it's going to be spicy. Sorry, I'm incompetently clicking. I always okay. Other possessions. That's the goddamn thing I always forget to click.
Yep.
Wait, can I safely say I took a short rest during this entire time?
Yeah, while you were waiting for them, absolutely, you could say you took a short rest. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna lose the deck of many things. Are we naming stuff to lose, or I'm sorry, like maybe I don't.
Yeah,
you
name
can't say it,
4
sorry.
things. Name 4 things.
Is it okay
You
if I
don't know
type
what's
it in
happening to
the?
them yet.
Is it
Sure.
okay if I type it in
You're actually
the
giving them
chat?
to Gelmir.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know what's happening to them yet. You don't know if you're losing them, so be careful.
Or you're picking things to keep.
We don't know what we're picking. That's why I like this. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just here not to know things.
Did you put it in Discord?
I'm trying to go faster. I'm sorry. I have to
it's
keep
fine.
clicking back because I.
I'm fully strong again.
Not fully strong.
We might need an actual long rest.
Together we strong.
Absolutely not. We're fine.
No, we're gonna take a long rest for sure.
I
That man needs prep time.
can slaughter us. We're good. We're good. I'm full health pretty much. I'm 4 away. We are good to go, guys.
Oh, in my. Because I just don't have anything.
I love the mechanic of recharging things on short rest. It is just, I know they were trying to change it with D&D 1, but it's so much. Even in Baldur's Gate, I don't play with like the long rest things anymore. I just anybody that can do recharge stuff in short rest, that's what I want. Like it's just so much faster.
So what I'm typing that's like pretty much my entire inventory at this point. Besides like.
All right, so
stuff I
Shogo,
got.
roll a d4, and Wintrude, roll a d4.
Roll a d4. I got a 1.
Deck of many things goes away. Its reality is unraveled. Shogo, what'd you get?
2. The old
2.
picture.
Old picture goes away and is unraveled.
All right.
Zach, just so you know, like I literally
Tyr.
rolled a 1. I'm not making it up.
It's like that's the only item I wanted out of my thing.
Tyr, there is a strange pack of cards in your pocket.
Sure. What happened to my pack of smokes?
You reach into your small pouch and you pull out what looks like a deck of many things, but it's got a different face on the cover of the deck, and it looks like it's a full deck of cards.
What the hell?
Alexander, you feel
Is that
a
Shogo?
thud in.
That Shogo has the deck of many things.
No, Tyr does.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah. So, Alex, you feel something appear in your backpack, and it's an old picture.
Wait, I found the picture?
Yeah, it's in your backpack. Although you don't know that Shogo lost it. You just got some strange old picture in your backpack. Tyr, you got a strange... Yeah, you pull it out.
What's on the picture?
Is it remaining unchanged?
Looking at the picture, it is an image of an undead family.
Oh.
Don't recognize anybody in it at all.
Well,
I kind of hold it up. I kind of hold it up and I'm like looking at it and I'm like seeing if like the light or like anything has sort of any special effect on it because I'm just curious to see if
the eyes
like a
follow
magical
you.
eye.
The eyes follow you.
On the photo?
Yeah, they follow you. Like it's almost like those creepy statues at Disneyland. Like when you tilt the picture, the eyes never leave your viewpoint. They're following you.
All right. I put it back in my bag.
Okay.
I like the spiciness of like it's so it's possibly a full new deck in Tyr's pocket.
It is actually a full new deck, and it's from a different place. It's from a different reality.
So it could be a totally different order effects. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
What is
so
the logo?
You got all your stuff back, and five of you are now standing at the base of the Tempest tomb.
And do we know that? Do I know that deck is lifted off me or like is?
Yeah, you would know. You would feel it unravel.
So I would just lightly like.
Are you going through the door? Are you like doing all these theatrics with these cards and everything?
Yeah,
Are you going?
I'll go through the door.
Wait.
8 hours.
Is this the tomb of Halistar Blackcloak? Where are we?
No,
It's a door, Tyr. We're not at a tomb yet. I think it's just a door. It's either way. Gelmir's going to go through it. We're going to figure it out in a second. So we don't need to identify.
Well, if Orlando, this is probably it, right? Like this is.
I mean, it's described as a Tempest tomb, and that energy source up there looks like a Tempest. So this could be it. Yeah.
This is the tomb. The guys that we.
Gelmir, they're going
We
to
are
debate
here.
this.
Are we still?
3 hours. Open the door.
Alex, you got T6 inspiration because I'm imagining your tiefling form like, oh my God, they're going to talk about this all night and something's going to just fucking kill us.
Are we?
I like this new bossy Alex. I've been enjoying this very much. I just love the get up and go like this.
He's in the Shadowfell, man.
This
He's
motivation,
in the
I love it.
patron.
Do we
Go
no
ahead,
longer
Tyr.
see the? Do we no longer feel the effects of like being in the Shadowfell? Like all that's.
Yeah, like you felt like crossing that bridge brought you out of a version of the Shadowfell.
I think.
And what you're doing now is kind of like it still has the Shadowfell energy, like the kind of the kind of alternate plane energy around you, but it feels like a space within a space within a space. Like Halistar, you guys all get the feeling that Halistar has hidden his tomb in between time.
Okay. Yeah, guys, I'm pretty banged up from our last little squabble, so I think it's best to take a little rest and do some prep. I've got some things I'd like to take care of before.
Yeah, but I sense there's gonna be a crazy storm and we're gonna have all these outside effects kind of affecting us. There's tornadoes and hurricanes and all that. We gotta get inside. We gotta go to safe shelter. And this is
You say that.
Wait.
all the
I know
shelter.
I'm being selfish here. Can I just say that I love that Gelmir is about to Gelmir Alex instead of me for once? And now I'm going to mute myself.
It's okay to be like just talk to the storm guy, so we're good. Like he works for me now.
So
okay.
before this, I'll say that if any of you guys are hungry, I do have a magical feast.
Yeah.
If we want to.
That sounds great.
That does sound really good. Gelmir, I would just encourage you to check your book, your treasures book, because I am getting. Ooh, hold on. Yep, my connection with the Shadowfell. There are a lot of treasures on the other side of this door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure Alphonse guards it so nobody goes in and steals them while we're sleeping.
All right, let's just take a little rest, and we'll.
Right here, just at the base of the building.
Is there any kind of covered stuff like?
There's structures surrounding you, like. I mean, there's like 100-foot tall buildings, 20-foot tall buildings, these huge cinder block fortress-like buildings all around you.
I want to just grab one of the nearest
pathways that go up and away.
I want to check like the nearest buildings, maybe something well fortified, one entrance. See if that is clear for us to.
Yeah, give me an investigation check as you look about and see if there's a better place to kind of hunker down while you guys prepare for the
my god, I got a nat one.
All assists, so get advantage.
Yeah, I'll say Shogo assists you, so you can roll again.
All right. Filthy 20.
Filthy 20? I mean, looking within the immediate 100-foot radius around the tomb, there's lots of structures that are available. There's a couple that match what you need. You kind of guide everybody over to like a nearby structure that's only a single-story structure. It looks decayed and abandoned, and you're not even sure what it was really used for. Inside is just old stone, rubble, and at the very least, because it doesn't have windows, it just has the door frame and like the alcove entrance, no door to speak of. At least you're watching just one point of entry. It's kind of like being in the mines of Moria. You just found an area that just feels like at least you could have your back to a wall looking at what might ever come at you.
Mines of Moria is not a great description for us to be taking a rest.
I have a question.
Kind of what it feels like in here right now.
I have a question about the spell. Spell I just picked up. I picked up Forbiddance. Okay. Basically, the thing that I'm questioning is it's a rank 6 ritual spell. Basically, it makes an area of which, things I don't like, slowly rot to death if they enter it, unless they know a password. The thing that I'm trying to discern is the last part of it says the spell's area can't overlap with an area of another forbidden spell. If you cast Forbiddance every day for 3 days in the same location, the spell lasts until dispelled, and the material components are consumed on the last casting. The material components, the ones that are notable because they have gold costs, is basically powdered ruby. Okay. So I'm wondering if I just cast it once in some random area and don't try and, do it for every day for 30 days and make it permanent. Does that mean that the materials are consumed if I'm just doing it once?
I believe so. I believe with the invocation of any spell that requires material components, they get consumed during the casting of the spell. Whether you're doing it for the purpose of a single time or the extended purpose of a spell,
it'll say if the spell consumes it.
Yeah. Usually it'll say in it.
Like it doesn't in the components, it'll say which the spell consumes.
Yeah, it doesn't say at which the point the spell consumes anywhere except in the last sentence where it says, if you cast Forbiddance every day for 30 days in the same location, the spell lasts until dispelled, and the material components are consumed upon the last casting. So what I'm wondering is, does that mean the materials are only consumed if it is made permanent, or are the materials consumed once the spell expires? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So that is interesting. That's a very, very good point. Because you're right. If I read this, the spell's area cannot overlap with the area of another forbidden spell. If you cast forbiddens every day for 30 days in the same location, the spell lasts until it is dispelled, and the material components are consumed on the last casting of, which I'm assuming they're implying on the 30th day.
Mm-hmm. So if I were to just
what would happen is you cast the spell, you would have the components stay on you, and then if you don't cast the spell a second time during the next day, the components would get used, because it would consider that first casting as your last casting.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was hoping it would be otherwise, but yeah.
Because basically, it's like that one spell that clerics, other forms of clerics get, temple, or the ability to create like a place of safety, for a period of time. And if they keep casting it every day, it becomes like an effigy, or becomes a temple dedicated to the, whatever god they. So there's variations to that spell. So are you casting that with the intent of creating a safe space for the group to be behind the planier gate?
That really depends on
that would be the only way
many
into the space is to travel through the gate.
Yeah. That really depends on the how many rubies we have.
Oh, I just gotta ask Elmer. He's got all the rubies.
I have 0. I lost
I've got
all
4.
walked in here.
I've got 4 rubies.
And how much gold is each ruby worth?
20,000. That's what or maybe 5,000. Maybe it's the combined cost I'm seeing.
Yeah, because I think you ended up trading for some, like, you either found or traded for some raw uncut rubies, right?
I think I just have picked them up over the course of our adventuring and never.
Okay, I would say one of those
I have
rubies
a ton of
would
gems,
be,
rubies.
I would say anybody with a small or medium-sized ruby for purposes of spell componentry would be enough for the spell.
All right. Everyone, I have a proposition. I can cast a spell that would make things extremely difficult for anyone to attack us or ambush us, but it would require the consumption of rubies to power. Is everyone willing to donate?
How many rubies do you need?
How many?
I need 1,000 gold points worth.
Oh, that's just 1 rupee here. Don't spend it all in one place. Don't throw them away.
Thank you. So, I carefully crush the ruby into the necessary form, and I begin casting forbiddance, basically enveloping this building and enveloping the entrance to the tomb. So basically, pretty much anything unnatural, celestials, fiends, undead, etc. They take necrotic damage when they enter the area.
What's the password?
Technically, you could give it a password.
Yeah. Let me pull up my notes for a second.
Actually, you don't need a password. I'm looking at the spell. Maybe if someone's listening to us, it's better to not set a password.
All right. I don't say the password out loud, but I set one. I'm gonna use message. What's the password? Olath.
All right, I'm gonna use message to send it out to the gang. Olath is the password. Don't say it out loud.
What is it?
Except for Gelmir, I don't send it to Gelmir.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Olath.
Hey everybody, the password is 1 2 3 4. Password.
Are you guys Are you guys all talking to each other in your heads? I feel like you're all talking to each other in your heads.
I mean, you're just going crazy right now, and this is why I
Last
wanted
word
to get
is
inside the
password.
tomb. I'm telling you, the outside elements. You guys barely made it across the bridge. We should really just go
Like,
inside. of this.
every once in a while, you guys get really quiet and just stare back and forth. And I'm just saying, I really feel left out. I feel like you guys are talking to each other in your heads, and I don't know what you're saying.
It's an inside joke. By the time we explain it, it wouldn't be funny anymore.
I'm gonna
Don't worry
start
about it.
prepping. I'm gonna start prepping Hero's Feast.
Okay.
I guess the same thing. I'm gonna use a ruby. Takes 10 minutes to cast. You bring forth a great feast, including magnificent food and drink. The feast takes 1 hour to consume and disappears at the end of that time, and the beneficial effects don't set in until the hour is over. Up to 12 creatures can partake of the feast. A creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits. The creature's cured of all diseases and poison, becoming immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum also increases by 2d10. And it gains the same number of hit points. These benefits last for 24 hours.
All right, so what do I do?
I put it in the Discord for you.
So I'm going to roll these 2d10s, and everybody gains that to your max HP, not temp HP. And then we're also going to get advantage to wisdom saving throws and immune to poison and frighten. So
That's really strong.
everyone gains 10 max HP, which I think you can just override it in the max HP.
Well, in D&D Beyond, there's a place to put temporary hit points.
No,
All right, so are we all doing long rest?
It's a max HP.
Are we doing
Yeah,
long
he
rest?
says, so there's two things, like, so one is the max HP. It's not temporary hit points, it's like actually your hit points.
Yeah, so click on your hit point thing in the stuff. There's
Yeah.
a max HP modifier.
And then also, but we can't do that until we know, like Alex is asking, if we're actually taking a long rest. Otherwise, we have to roll dice to regain hit points. So.
Well, I mean, it lasts up to 24 hours.
Yeah, last 24
Well, we should
hours,
do this
so-
after we wake up from the long rest, no?
No, because it'll last us until the next time.
Yeah, it's not based on long rest. It's based on just time.
Oh, okay.
So once you wake up from a long rest or recover from your long rest, you'd have 16 hours of Hero's Feast left.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it. We could do it in the morning if that works better.
That would probably be better. I don't think.
So we just get 2d10 of max hit points, no temp hit points, right?
Yeah, so you get 10 because I just rolled it, and then you get your immunity to being frightened and poison, and you get advantage on all wisdom saving throws.
And then so we can also have temp health on top of this then eventually if we want.
Yes.
Well, the cool thing about that max hit point increase is that during the course of the 24 hours it heals. So until the 24 hours is up, if you heal those max hit points, they come back.
Yeah.
They only go away after the 24 hours.
Yeah. So we'll do that after we rest.
And I've seen plenty of big boss battles hinge on 2 or 3 extra hit points.
The big thing for me was wisdom, which I felt like I kept getting messed up, like in the Shadowfell with the wisdom saving throws. I don't know, but it does have an advantage. I think rogues do it.
That's a pretty big deal.
I think that would be a good.
Oh yeah, let me look at that again. That's a good point.
So, and then no frighten, no poison, which might not be a big thing, but other than that, I have 2 things I would like to do before we fully rest. The first is a question. I have 2 magical loots, one of which has the ability to hold a 3rd level spell. If I store a 3rd level spell in there, could I give it to one of our party for them to cast the spell by strumming it?
Does the loot require attunement?
Does not. At least not that I know.
I don't think it was a very powerful loot. So I think the bulk of its power was that you could store a 3rd level spell in it. So if you were to hand that off and tell them which chord to play, like which to strum, it would be cast as if you cast it, but it would come from the focus of the loot.
Yeah.
All right. So we long resting?
I want to use that. And then what about the ring? So now that I know it's cursed with banishment and it's also like a ring of invisibility, would I be able to dispel the invisibility portion of it?
Would you be able to dispel the invisibility
I'm
portion?
assuming that's like it's magic, right? Could I dispel magic to dispel the invisibility of the?
That way, it's just a cursed ring.
Yes.
I like the flavor of that because I think you're going to use it as a way to like. I like where you're going with this. So before your long rest, what level dispel would you cast on it?
I'm going to cast at the 5th level.
Yeah, that would do it. It's only a 3rd level invisibility. So yeah, you don't have to roll. You get the sense that the curse, whatever it might be, is the only magic kind of emanating from spell or from the ring. You even watch as part of the ring's engraving goes away. And the only thing remaining in the engraving of the ring is the kind of like astral field of stars and light that would represent the banishment effect.
Lovely. Can't wait. Can't wait to become betrothed.
All right, so let's go ahead and take our 5-minute break, and when we come back, we will do the second half. I can already tell that when this is gonna be so much fun. So much fun. right, we are back.
Woo!
Made it to level 13.
I'm counting how many times I've TPK'd in Baldur's Gate. I've made it to past the Dwergar bed, and so far it's been 4. It could be worse.
Do they use levels in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah. Well, basically, like I'm at the end of the first act. I just started the second one.
Right.
Actually, I just immediately got killed in the second one because.
And in the second act, what level are you?
I'm currently level 5.
Sounds like the appropriate time for a TPK.
One of the
Zach's like, no, it's never an appropriate time for a TPK.
No, I was just remembering like the most annoying TPK I experienced was just I think the term for the creature is called like a bullet or something like that.
A boulet.
Like that. A bullet.
Yeah,
One of those things leaped out of the ground, slammed down, and shoved all of my party members off a cliff.
Yeah, they're tough. They're like between. I mean, I've used them all the way up to like level 12 players before because they could be beefy for sure.
Do you guys all have PCs you're playing this on?
I'm not playing Baldur's Gate,
No.
and I only have a PS5. So
I got a PS5.
It's good.
I've got an Xbox Series
it's
X
good.
box. I was giving it to my brother, but he doesn't want it. I'm only gonna play Starfield, I think, when it comes out next week. But we'll see.
Right
I'm gonna
now-
wait. I'm gonna wait because I still haven't even.
right
Well,
now,
it's cool because they now are going to release it for Xbox. They weren't before because with
Yeah.
Todd Howard or whatever made a deal. But basically, it was because the Series S cannot support their split screen mechanic, and the Series
Right.
X can. So
I've heard that.
there's a rule with Xbox where it's like it has to be the same on all platforms. But he broke the rule, I guess, for them. So the Series S just won't have the same split screen, whatever the fuck it is, compared to the Series X. So he's going to release it on the Xbox now.
I would just say that if you're going to play something outside of Baldur's Gate, Armor Core 6 just came out,
Yeah, that's what my friends are trying to get me to
Friday.
play.
and I played a little. I've been playing like yesterday, like a little bit Friday. Definitely dove into it on Saturday. It is so fun. It is crazy good fun.
I am seriously looking forward to the new Star Wars game.
Yeah,
Outlaws.
that one's supposed to be rolling great. Yeah,
I am like, that is my jam with Star Wars. Like smugglers, dirty deeds, playing like the grit of Star Wars, not the fancy, shiny New Republic crap. I like the underbelly of Star Wars, and that definitely has my interest right now, for sure.
I need to be Elden Ring. I was playing it and then I moved and I like didn't play PlayStation for like.
Yeah, I
2
haven't
months.
I haven't played it.
Hadn't touched it.
Elden Ring.
Chris, you're a finisher.
Yeah,
No,
Elden
I'm
Ring's
a finisher
good.
too. So I'm like, I have to. I feel like I have to restart because I was so far into it that I was like,
I'm
Dude,
not a
I-
finisher. I
I
want
have,
to.
like-
I started as the
That could
like,
mean a lot of things, Alex. I'm sorry.
I started as like the naked guy with like a club,
Naked guy with the club. Yeah,
and then I'm just a strength character, so I'm just wielding big swords.
dude. I have like a little over 400 hours into Elden Ring, and that's like different builds, and then like taking
It's
one
like 10
character.
weeks of playtime. Holy crap.
That's like a character, and I took one character up so high that she has. If I need strength, she can do it. Her levels are so high that like I can do strength, faith, magic, just like.
Mhm.
That's
And I just go back to
insane.
parts of the game. So I would just go back to parts of the game and just be like, "Wee!"
Yeah, no,
From
That must be-
software.
Are you the pig with the pinwheels? Whee!
Yeah, but like Armor Core 6 is going to be like this. From Software just makes games where I get hooked. And it's like because you can play parts of the game, replay the whole game. You can do so much stuff just to explore and try ideas out. They are geniuses at that.
It must be so cathartic.
Too.
I just really like Baldur's Gate because it really rewards like creativity and like when you figure out something, it's really good.
Yeah, that's one thing about the fandom that I've been enjoying people talk about. Like sometimes games get so rote that you're not sure the rewards ever really become worth it. And all the feedback I get here from people on Baldur's Gate 3 is like the rewards really feel like it's worth the creativity of the game and what you get out of it for the creativity of how you solve things. I mean, it's a pretty impressive game. They've done some impressive stuff.
What's really cool though, which could carry over into D&D, is like I think the D&D items that they have, like the magic items, a lot of them are a little bit stale, or like they're just either too overpowered or they're too like complex. Whereas like there's like a lot of items that you're finding, especially like in these other slots, which are just simple. And I don't even know if like some of them exist, but like for example, like boots that are just like use dash as a bonus action. Great item. It's not too overpowered. It's perfect. You can figure out somebody to use it. They have this lightning charges mechanic. Yeah, that's really cool.
I built a coin in another game called the Coin of Passing, that every time you slip the coin under the door, it turns into a little metallic hand that crawls up and unlocks the door and then drops back into a coin.
Oh, that's nice.
You pick it up off the ground. You know, I agree. I like passive, simple items sometimes. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because just the +1 all the time is like, you can't, like in the game I'm running, I'm like how am I, like I can't just give everybody massive armor class and massive, you know, it makes me have to make these fights so difficult for no reason.
Well, you have a reason, because they have high armor class.
Yeah, that's true. I'll read on the forums, they're like, I made my PCs too powerful. What do I do? I'm just like, in super high challenge.
In between realities, it's hard to know when you've taken this rest. As Shogo has built a fortification allowing you to rest without immediate concern of intrusion.
Though the form it takes is rather unsettling.
I can imagine that it takes a pretty grotesque form. But within this, go ahead and describe it.
Like sort of these nesting pods of insects dot the walls and ceiling. Things occasionally scurry and squirm by in the dark. That's about it. Just things scratching.
It's like being in a very abandoned supernatural building, like from the series Supernatural. You're always on the edge of your vision. It's like squishy worm-like things and pods that burst and things crawl out and then crawl off into the darkness. But the gate that it creates gives you guys this ability to probably be able to take this rest without a watch if you choose to. I leave that up to you.
Nice.
All right.
I still think we should take a watch.
Night, Danielle.
Did I watch?
That
I mean,
works.
technically, Alphonse and Gribbets could take a watch.
Yeah. Buddy cop comedy. Alphonse and Gribbets.
Before we take a rest, I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern into my loot store.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
When Alex isn't looking, I want to just check my book to see if there's a bunch of gems on the other side of the door, like you said.
Actually, wait, not Hypnotic Pattern, slow.
Slow? Okay.
And mind you, Gelmir, you have that like curse or whatever that makes you freaking fiend for.
It makes you feed for gems.
I can't remember what that curse was, but remember there was like I gave everybody a gift, and then his was like some sort of. Can't remember what it was.
Is that one of the ones I missed? Was that a session I missed?
Puzzle
No,
game.
you were here. You were here. You remember it was getting ridiculous, but you were going like insane over like trying to find gems. I can't remember what it was. Was it the
Do you mean the
You were
book?
here.
Or
I
do you
think-
mean that cursed puzzle game?
Yeah, it was like I think it was like the cursed puzzle thing. It was like can't remember now.
Oh yeah, the cursed
while.
puzzle game that you could, I believe, it was impossible to open, but you could see a gem inside of it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Or maybe not impossible, just incredibly difficult. I don't remember exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't a curse, I guess. It was that game or whatever.
Do we
Yeah.
still have this game?
It was the unsolvable puzzle box. And
Oh, yeah,
you
that's what I
placed
got
a
you.
gem
Yeah.
inside the unsolvable
Mhm.
puzzle box, and then gave him the puzzle box. So that every time he opened his book, it would always show a gem in the box, but it's not solvable. So whenever you wanted Gelmir to just sit there frustrated trying to get at the gem, it would literally consume his free time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since I'm not making dinner, anytime I'm not spent resting, I'll be trying to get that gem out.
Love it.
That's what it was. Now I wrote. Yeah, I was like, I remember there was something.
Wintrude, Orlanth pulls you aside. And within this secure space, as everyone's settling in, except for Gelmir, who's over there frustratingly like ripping at a puzzle box and kind of cursing to himself. Every now and then the mouth on his forehead saying something, and he's using the eye. He's, hey, why don't you try to open this? And, you know, he's arguing with his new self about this place, about this puzzle box. Tyr's already kind of gathered up his componentry for the Hero's Feast. Alex and Shogo kind of doing their own kind of long rest musings before settling in. But Orlanth pulls you to off to the side to kind of, you could tell she's worried. You don't need to make an insight check. Listen, Winter, tomorrow's gonna be kind of a big day, you know. You asked me before why I was interested in the staff. That was my main interest. This is gonna be hard for you to believe, and I totally, you know, if it upsets you, I get it. I understand, but look, I have a mentor over at the Candle Keep. He's a professor. Teaches arcane lore, and all the information I got was from him when I first started my first expedition. And his information is what got me past Skullport. And that's the information I've been using, and he seems like a nice fella. But see, here's the thing. I don't think they're a live person. I think the reason why they might want the staff is because I think the staff is the main power that Black Cloak uses to keep his farm from dying, truly dying, I think. And while this individual would like to remain anonymous, I made a promise that I've got to keep it, or else bad things may happen. So no matter what happens tomorrow, Wintrude, I kind of need you to be a sister this time. We got to get that staff no matter what. I have to, got to get it. No one else could take it. If I don't get it, I'm gonna be in trouble. And she just kind of sits down and watches a very large worm crawl away, and, kind of like freaks out at it. Look, I'm not proud of what I did, but you know, they showed me a lot, and I think it's allowed me to learn a lot more. And I think in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have made the agreement, but I feel like you're not saying anything because you're being judgy. Don't be judgy. Don't be Don't be mad.
Bad things will happen to whom?
Well, me for starters. And
For starters.
Yeah, it's kind of a whole family curse thing. Look, it's fine. It'll be fine. All we got to do is make sure we get the staff, and then we get it back to Candle Keep. That's all we got to worry about. Once we do that, everything will be just fine. Here now, how are you? Are you okay?
We took an oath for research and knowledge and the preservation of knowledge.
Yeah, I'm preserving knowledge and my ass. Yeah.
But you seem to have entered into something that goes against all that. And I followed into this because you were doing it. And now you're breaking every last tenet, principle, precept.
No, not true. Not every tenet or principle. I still agree with all of that. But I felt it was important. The reward I'm going to get for bringing the staff back is going to improve so much about our understanding of magic and arcane practices. It's trust me, it's a good deal I made, Wintrude. I need to make sure that you help me get that staff. That's all I'm saying. We don't necessarily have to defeat him if we just get the staff. You know what I mean? We could always
cut and run. We can always cut and run.
Yeah.
And leave them to whatever happens to them.
Well, they'll be fine, don't you think? I mean, Gelmer says he's a god. I'm pretty sure Shogo's not alive, so you can't kill what's not dead or not alive. Anyways, and Tyr talks to his sword.
So what happens with the staff, actually? Who's the professor? Who did do what with it?
Well, I didn't really ask those questions because they were offering me a lot of things to bring it back. I mean, they knew that I was interested in tracking down Black Cloak and finding his tomb and recording it for the purposes of arcane study. I mean, the information of the disciples alone is enough to fill lecture halls for generations, as well as, now that we've got the proven history of Black Cloak's existence, and we've got all the mapping and information about the way down here and for future study. And look, just the act of coming down here has created enough.
Right, but so I'm supposed to play the stock character and then say at what price?
I mean, when you put it that way, it kind of makes me feel like shit. I'm not sure if that's what you meant to do to make me feel like shit, it's
not enough that you make a deal with the curse that could fall upon you. It's the whole family. Mom, Dad, Martel, just me.
Well, it's described. So look, it's described that if I don't fulfill my end of the bargain, the gentleman will be very, very upset with me. And therefore, we'll do whatever it takes. It's not really like a curse. I think it's more like if I don't do what I'm told, it just becomes like, it's kind of like that time that I got involved with the crime lords over at Daggerford, and I played at a pretty shady casino that I thought was great. I thought it was like you go in there for a spa, you get your skin treatments, you have a good time. I didn't know, that the crime lord was a dabbler in souls, but I've always appreciated you helping me out of that particular situation. Just kind of think of it that way. All you're doing is helping me, help you, help me get out of a kind of sticky situation. That's all. That's all it is.
And we're okay with what professor? How do you even know it is what it says it is? How do you know it's not like Alex's patron?
To be fair, Alex's patron helped us out. I mean,
Yeah, well, and we don't know what the cost of that is. Here'd be something funny. What if it's the same thing you're looking for?
I don't. Nah, it'd be fine. I don't think it works that way. I think it's just a matter of interest. If it's an affinity relic, it's not like he's going to be able to use it. Anyways, only Hallister can use his relic. So I think he just wants it for study. I don't think it'll actually work for him, to be honest with you.
Sure, we're just fine bringing that back to somebody we don't really know to Candlekeep.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
You see? Perfect.
Right.
All right, well,
yeah.
She pats your hand and goes, "Thanks, Wintroop, for understanding." And she just gets up and walks away.
I just roll over in my bedroll and just close my eyes.
Yeah, it just,
before I fall asleep, I wanted to send a prayer to the Stormlord Cord. Oh Lord of the Storm, I'm praying to you to make your blessing a norm, of which an oath to you will be sworn. For me in this form, or at any point if I were to be reborn, your enemies will face my scorn. Give me some fucking help here, man. Please, thanks.
That's a porn.
Kelvir oversees dragons and gods. Observer of lemmings? When did you put that one in?
It was when everyone was bordering jumping off the bridge.
Oh, yeah, off the Tempest Bridge. Okay. So all of you settle into your long rest, putting Alphons and Gribbets on watch. They don't require a rest. They are friends of Gelmir, as they say.
I would like to try and attune to the cauldron during the long rest.
Would you have been able to bring the cauldron with you?
With difficulty, yes.
Okay.
I think I'm strong enough.
Okay. The cauldron is an anchor gate to the 9th level of hell. It was allowing the hag to channel souls in and out of the 9th level of hell. And it's called the Cauldron of Death. And if you do attune to it, it will shrink down to a palm-sized replica of itself. And whenever you invoke the Cauldron of Death, you must consume at least 3 souls to send them on their way. And then 3 magical instances will occur. Those instances are random, and you do not know what they are. This is a ancient relic. It is very old.
What do you mean by instances? Or do I just not know what that means?
Anytime you successfully kill a target, you absorb its soul into the cauldron. Anytime someone dies, you absorb its soul into the cauldron. Anytime death occurs, you absorb its soul into the cauldron.
And I can store and use them from there.
They can be used to emanate or to animate objects that were. You get the feeling this is how she was animating the dead. That she was using these stolen souls to reanimate skeletons and other creatures that wandered the maddening forest. And this is probably how she built that huge horde of undead that wander the forest.
Do I get the sense that the soul will be heavily damaged by the process of being killed, stored in the cauldron, and then
you get the sense that the release of any soul from the cauldron will be the most euphoric feeling you could ever possibly have. And the longer that it's kept in the cauldron is a period of torment.
Gotcha.
This is a pretty wicked device. This is not something I expected a player to take control of.
The implications are quite interesting, though, definitely.
So if you attune to it, you are attuned to the Cauldron of Death, and it's a small object in your hand that you can invoke to do what it does.
Is it an official D&D item, or is it homebrew?
Oh, no. It's a homebrew item I gave the hag.
Gotcha. All right.
And to be honest with you, I don't even think I just went off my notes right now. I don't think I put it in Beyond because I wasn't expecting anyone to take it. But then, of course, there's always Shogo. Or Shogu.
Hey, she saw some. They saw someone, like, basically reanimating a horde of undead. Of course, they would take interest. Anyway, that's what I do with my long rest.
Anybody else want to do anything before waking up after the long rest? Tyr played to chord. Wintrude had a conversation with Orlanth. Shogo attuned to the cauldron. Gelmir or Alex, anything you want to? Well, Gelmir's been playing with the puzzle box, technically.
Is Cord going to say what's up in my dreams or what?
Never know.
I guess I'll talk to Alphonse for a couple of minutes while I'm working on a puzzle box.
I imagine it's like talking to the mountain from Game of Thrones. It's just, this huge undead knight, just kind of death knight, kind of listening to you talk to it.
So Alphonse, you are now technically released from the hells. Your reality has been overwritten. But I guess, are you like attached to me? Do you have to do what I say forever?
But you summoned me. I do what I'm told to do by those that summoned me. Do you not need me any longer? Can I go on my way then?
Absolutely not.
Oh. So I'm technically not free then.
No, I said you're free from the hells.
Yeah, this is a kind of hell.
Yeah. You'll get used to it. Gribbets loves it.
Gribbets is just like... Gribbets no longer really recognizes you. It's like... you have eyeballs in your hands, a mouth in your forehead. Gribbets is feeling a little concerned.
Yeah. I mean, Alphonse, you wouldn't even know. I had half as many mouths, eyeballs, no tattoos. Man, I have come so long in the past few hours, days, weeks, months, years. I don't know how long we've been doing this.
Alphonse has no idea what to say. Gribbets is like they're just watching you fiddle with the puzzle box and talking, and they're not even sure if you're vocalizing towards anyone. You just gotta, manifestation of this conversation is a little creepy. Like if someone were to be watching you have this conversation, they'd feel a little creeped out.
So that'll be my whole rest, and every once in a while I'll talk to the God in my head too.
Yeah. So with that in mind, everyone go ahead and trigger a long rest. The level up is in full force. You all wake up to the sounds of Alphonse and Gribbets waking up Gelmir first, and then one by one, all of you kind of waking up in this very kind of like creepy space that Shogo has prepared for you. But to Shogo's credit, it's relatively nothing happened. It's been relatively safe rest, allowing you to regenerate yourselves and organize your spells and to get yourselves mentally prepared to try to enter into the Tempest tomb.
Make sure to add your 10 max HP modifier from Hero's Feast. Since I'm assuming
you guys are all now under the effect of Hero's Feast.
And over the course of that, I will regale you with a story, a mythological story of the Stormlord Cord wrestling Krakens for my inspiring leader to give everyone 18 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Dude, I don't know if you did this on purpose, but a bunch of the words at the end of your sentences sounded alike.
Really? That's the first I've ever heard of that happening. That might be like a new thing.
It was really distracting from your story. I don't think you should do that anymore.
I'll try my best. But who knows? I mean, I think it's because of the long rest.
That's just my feedback. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Ghelfi, is that because goblin poetry that tends not to rhyme?
What's
I liked it, to be honest. I feel like it had like a music to it, you know, almost in the words themselves.
Well, that's just nonsense.
You would probably know better than I, but I've always felt that the kind of the rhythm of the story or the song is more important than simply rhyming words. But that's just personal taste. I think I say as I'm refreshing the forbidden spell by basically dumping nutrient slurry on a whole bunch of the nests while we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Orland's like,
looking forward to the Lich's temple in contrast to... No offense, Shogo. It's... I'm rested. But, wow. Squirminess, worms, maggots. Okay. Shall we go? Alex, you're ready, right? You want to lead on?
Yeah.
Actually-
am I ready? Like this whole entire rest thing was completely pointless. And now we need to move.
Noted. Let us move.
I'll
Here,
turn
thank you
into
for the wonderful
Gus and-
song and the beast.
Gelmir, are you gonna open the door now? Because this has been hours.
I don't. Yeah. All right. And then I'll turn into ghost mode and then go through the cracks to see what's on the other side.
no cracks. It's
I
airtight.
thought you said there were cracks.
You guys are watching this puff of Gelmir smoke, like along this door, and every time he hits it, like just kind of rebounds off of it.
Is there like a door handle?
No, it's just a stone door with a bunch of writing and symbols on
But
it.
how do I know if it's a door? If there's is there a seam?
Yeah, there's an archway that it's built into. It feels like it should be a door. It just
What?
doesn't seem to have a handle.
But it looks
What
like
language?
a wall.
What does the
It is
inscription?
a stone door, so it could kind of look like a wall, but it's not flush to the frame itself. It feels like a tomb-like stone entrance that would like maybe slide or drop down.
Is the inscription familiar language or recognizable symbols?
It's actually not too elaborate. There are, make sure I got this right. Pull this over here. So you notice 7 symbols.
Fire.
There's
God
7
damn it.
symbols, and with each symbol, there's a letter. There's a symbol with the letter A, a symbol with the letter C, a symbol with the letter T, a symbol with the letter W, a symbol with the letter X, a symbol with the letter G, and then a symbol with the letter C. And they look like magical symbols, magical representations. And they're in kind of hodgepodge order on the tomb door.
Oh,
Is Witchard, are these the names of the individuals, like Alistair Blackcloak is the A, or if not, then it could be the schools of magic.
I'll touch the A and say Annabelle.
You guys watch as Tyr goes over to where the A is the symbol. As you touch the symbol, you watch as the female silhouette of Annabelle pops out of the symbol and floats over to the right side of the tomb entrance. And her small form is just kind of floating there with a kind of wreath of fire around her.
What are the rest of them?
Well,
The next one is a C with a symbol, a T with a symbol,
Chenix.
a W with a symbol, an X with a symbol, a G, and then another C with a symbol.
I touch it, say Chenix.
Grandy.
As you touch that one, Alex, and say Chenix, you watch as an arcane rune kind of floats out of the symbol and then settles to the left of the tomb.
What's the next letter?
We've got
We
Grandy.
I'm gonna press each one and say fire.
No! God damn it!
No, I don't let him do that. I use my reaction. Put my
you
sword to his throat.
shove Gelmir off to the side.
Oh, hey,
better
I'm
from-
just over here solving puzzles, man.
Meanwhile, you notice that Gelmir in your other hand, where the gem book is, it's going crazy. Like it's the most like resident and radiant amount of gems that you've ever seen trails to. And it's just a spaghetti of arcane lines leading towards the tomb door. And
Which
you
one
guys
is the
can
T?
see a drool trail like dribbling out of the corner of Gelmir's mouth at this point.
All right, who's the T?
Theo, I think.
So,
is-
Tyr, you said Grangy, correct?
Grangy, and there should be, I think there's a Xeno.
So we'll start with
The-
Grangy. You go over to the symbol with Grangy and mention his name, pushing on it. You watch as a artificer symbol kind of floats out of the symbol and it settles to the left alongside Chetix.
There's a second C too.
There's another C.
I'm gonna press the W and say Wintrude.
No, I literally do not allow him to do this. I stand in front of him and I am absolutely not allowed it.
I'm solving this puzzle.
It's like with the little kid, right? He's going up there every time the kid. It's like picking up a toddler and taking him away from the thing. Like,
I would like to do an athletics check to see if I can shove Gelmir to the floor.
I'll do
I touch-
acrobatics.
I touch the T and say, Theo.
As you touch the T, saying Theo, you watch as the arcane symbol of an astrolabe and a kind of like symbol of
26.
planetary structures
I saw
wrapping
it.
around each other kind of settle off to the right of the tomb. So currently, Chenix and Grangy are to the left of the tomb. Annabelle and Theo are to the right of the tomb.
So Gelmir, we're gonna pretend you did this one.
And then I touch W and I say,
Wink.
Fire!
You're like a toddler's hand on like a toy they can't figure out.
yeah. You guide their hand, but I don't let them touch it though, because
In the center of the door, the Winx symbol pops out, and orbs kind of circle each other and float and arch over the center of the door.
Hey, guys, what if the bad guy wants this? What if you're just doing what the bad
the X
You
is-
want the gems, right?
I mean, yeah, I do. Definitely want those gems. I'm just also saying, because something's happening, it doesn't mean it's the right thing.
Yeah, but
I mean, you certainly want the gems, and it is uncertain that this is what the enemy wants.
but
So
Gelmir,
I would say the certainty overrides the uncertainty, wouldn't you think?
I kind
Nailed
of
it. I'll press the last one and say fire.
I poked the last one after Gelmir's done with that and say Xeno.
Okay. As you press Xeno, you watch as the imitation of a mutated purple worm kind of swirls into existence. and then settles to the right of the tomb. So far, there's one last C left on the tomb door.
One last C. Hey, do I know another C?
It was like Chessex or something like that. It was like a similar sounding one. I don't remember. I can't find. I don't have the book that I wrote in before. I don't think.
Yeah, you guys found it right after Annabelle's tomb. It was actually within a couple sessions.
Oh,
So it was a
Chessex.
long-
Yeah, so I go and touch the last C and say, Chessex.
As you touch that last C, you watch as the protector symbol blossoms out from underneath, and then it begins to settle off to the left along all the other. With the final symbol revealed from the tomb, you watch as all 7 symbols collide with each other, their images colliding. You watch as Halistar's image like blooms from that for a moment. There's a grinding noise as the tomb door falls into the floor. And as it falls into the floor, you then watch as the tomb itself begins to lower. The entirety of the building settles flat into the floor, and then you watch as 7 statues appear. You then watch as the Tempest storm lowers itself just beyond the 7 statues, and the storm begins to crackle.
I run in.
Towards it or away from it?
You run
the
in.
tomb. Because the tomb door opened, right?
Well,
Yeah.
the tomb door dropped, and then the whole building dropped.
Yeah, I just jumped in as soon as the door opened.
You can give me acrobatics to try to make it in before it drops into the ground.
I have advantage. That's a 29.
A 29. You guys watch as Gelmer leaps across the way, and just as he's trying to get inside, there's no opening beyond for you to leap into. The door was like the kind of way that the building was being anchored to the reality of the place and allowing the Tempest storm to crash into it. Take half of 41 points of bludgeoning damage as you bounce off the collapsing tomb, but then you feel it kind of bounce on you at the same time as it settles into the ground.
How wrecked is his nose? Is like,
I mean, he's got
Well,
his
even
nose
for
is
it,
twisted.
it'd be like
you know.
dome. It's like what?
Yeah.
Right into it.
There's like a nice monkey bump kind of bulging out off of his forehead.
Just a knot. Just,
It's the other person's lip.
I go in.
So as
I
you're
go in.
staring at these, there's 3 statues to your right, 3 to your left, and there's 1 in the middle. The Tempest storm is now lowered to ground level about 20 or 30 feet beyond the statues.
I'm going to start inspecting the statues.
All right, give me an investigation check as you do that.
So you're saying there's 3 statues lined up on either side, 1 in the middle, but the storm's lowered like behind the statue that's in the center, or
Correct.
like some sort of chaotic swirling portal. Or
Yeah,
something?
it's just this swirling tempest of energy that's maybe about 20 feet around in diameter, and every now and then like little sparks of explosions of purple and incandescent light exploding within it.
Wintrude, can you check these statues with me? You have better eyes than I.
Yeah, I can do like an investigation check on like a statue on the right, like the first one, for anything arcane or levers
go
or
for it.
some other stuff.
Give me an
So-
investigation check, yeah.
With my new level up thingy, I get advantage though.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's 13 plus something. What is that? That's sorry.
13 plus something is a little bit more than 13.
So it 13 is 26.
26. Your investigation is plus 13 now?
Yeah. Perception and investigation are plus 13. Yeah.
As you look at the statues, as you approach them, you kind of all are mingling in the area. The statues look to be life-size representations of the 7 disciples. So to the right, there's statues of Chenix, Grangi, and Zeno. To the left is Theo, Chenix, and Annabelle. In the middle, it looks to be the statue of Winks. Looking down on the ground, it looks like they move and can be put into patterns. And in between the patterns of their movement are variations of different forms of schools of magic. Almost as if their school of magic might match who they are.
Like there's a pattern or an image representing that school of magic.
Correct.
On the
and
ground before the statue.
There are 7 representations of magic.
I'm going to start scooting Annabelle to the evocation school.
Okay. The evocation school would be Theo.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I start moving Theo to the
if you move... So you're moving... Oh, I'm sorry. You're moving Annabelle over to evocation. I thought you were saying something else. I was hearing something else. So you're moving Annabelle over to evocation. Gotcha.
Now I'm worried I did something wrong.
No. I was reading something wrong. That wasn't you. So you guys watch as Shogo goes over to the Annabelle statue, pushes it, and it follows a grinding track in the surface. And as the statue sits into the evocation symbol, it begins to light up. And you watch as an arc of energy slams out of the statue and into the Tempest storm. And you watch as the Tempest storm begins to calm down slightly.
I push Chenix to the abjuration. I believe that's what it's called.
Okay. As watch as Shogo moves that statue over to abjuration, and as it locks into it, settles into place, a second arc of energy coming off of it and slamming into the Tempest. You watch as the Tempest storm gets a little bit calmer after that happens.
Let's see now. Which one was the worm person?
The Crinix.
Is that Zeno?
Or Zeno?
Zeno, yeah, I think so. I kind of a bit unsure of myself, start pushing Zeno to the School of Enchantment.
As you push Zeno over into the School of Enchantment, there's a moment that it doesn't quite fit into the spot.
Is that? Yeah, I'll stop that one.
Okay.
And like, I don't know a lot about magic. Being a god, I've got people for that. But
so Shogo, give me a con save because of the rebound effect from the Tempest as you tried to get it into the enchantment spot.
24.
24. Take half of 24 points of force damage as a lightning rebound slams into you and the statue, sending the statue sliding back into its starting position.
That's rounded up, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
No, half of, what did I say? Half of 21?
25.
Or half of 25 would be 12 points total of force damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, being this is one of the main schools Gelmir knows, I think he would know that this one's probably Conjuration.
You guys watch as, hey, no one hit me this time. And Gelmir, goes walking over to the Zeno statue and starts pushing it towards the Conjuration symbol. It locks into place. And you watch as a third lightning crashes up towards the Tempest. And the Tempest is beginning to calm down even more.
Theo,
Okay, so
was it? Who was the one who had the undead staff?
That was Zeno.
Oh, I see.
No, that was Krenix, wasn't it?
Was it?
Zeno was the worm. Krenix was the undead, I think.
Oh, let me look. Yeah.
He'd be the necromancy. Probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who the hell was. I'm trying to look through my notes.
Well, the abjuration one fit for critics, so that one's.
Then Chess. Who's the other one? The other C?
The other one is Chenix the Witted.
Chenix the Witted? He might be divination.
He was technically the only one that was unsuccessful. When you destroyed the Hellmouth Gate, he didn't turn into his spiritual self and get absorbed back in the direction of the tomb. So that was a little bit different.
Yeah, so I think you guys are right, though. I think Chenix was necromancy. I'm looking at my notes, way back in session 12. I just keep doing these find commands of names, and that's where we have necromantic magic, a corpse. There was a ceremony of a corpse going to be raised.
Right, yeah, I'll move necromancy to Chenix then.
Okay. You start sliding the statue of Chenix over to necromancy. Settles in the right spot. A fourth lightning arc cracks off, hits the Tempest.
So who do we have left then? Sorry, who do we have?
Yeah, you have Granji, Winks, and Theo.
I move Winks over to transmutation.
Damn, you guys take good notes. You watch as Shogo goes over to the Winks statue. Slides into place.
So that's Winks.
Yep.
Okay, so Granji and Theo are left. Okay.
You watch as the lightning arcs over to the Tempest entrance.
What do we have left?
I believe it's enchantment and divination left. Technically, if you're willing to experience a bit of pain, you can just do a 50-50. Plus, the storm looks a lot weaker than it was, so it probably won't.
Yeah, it's like it's calming down. It's getting a little bit smaller and settling onto the ground.
So Granji the Bold.
I'll move divination to Granji.
That was a good guess. I think you were guessing on that one because that was never a clear one. You watch as Galver goes over to the Granji statue and sets it in the spot. A sixth arc of lightning crashing into the Tempest storm.
I'll move the last one. Theo.
To the last school of magic.
Yeah.
Watch as that seventh lightning crashes into the Tempest storm. You then watch as energy trails come out of the Tempest storm and crash back into each of the statues. Each of the statues turn into spiritual figures. As the statues decay, spiritual figures of 6 of the disciples are now floating above the platform. The 7th statue, Chenix, does not decay, and the magic halts and hesitates. The Tempest begins to pulse with strange, unknown energy as the ceremony does not seem to be able to complete itself.
I look towards the apparitions. Did my senses or instincts tell me that they're actually the souls of the disciples?
They feel like specters.
There's something I wish to do, but it might potentially ruin the ritual even further.
Do it.
You're like, yeah, do it.
I pull the cauldron from my pocket and will for the nearest specter to be drawn into it.
There's 6 to choose from. Which one are you willing?
Which one did I dislike the most? I'll just take. I'll draw on Winks because he made a fool out of me.
Okay. You watch as the Winks Spectre, noticing that you've activated the cauldron, you beckon towards its will and existence to float over to you. It stares at you, trying to resist your call. So this is going to be a contest of wills. I will say this will be a contest of wisdom versus intelligence. So you could use either wisdom or intelligence as a save to overcome the will of Winksy and force them into the cauldron.
All right. 22.
Damn. Beat my 19. You watch as the Winksy Spectre gets absorbed into the cauldron. And then a huge arc of energy cracking out of the Tempest. You watch as the other specters turn to fearfully look at Shogo.
Open the gate, please.
Give me a persuasion check.
Let's see. Persuasion +0. 6.
Wait. Oh, I was gonna say like a whole bardic inspiration, maybe.
That's not gonna make or break it with us.
I know, but
she was like, "Nah, no. We're waiting for battle for that, baby." What'd you get?
6.
They turn away from you to look at each other and back up the gate that's now crackling with a dangerous energy that's looking to be getting out of control.
Don't be like that. This could be so much easier for both of us.
No response.
I cannot reward bad behavior like this, so I walk up to the nearest one, basically whichever one I can get and reach to, and try to capture them in the cauldron as well.
Give me intelligence save or wisdom save, your choice.
23.
23. You feel them resist you. You feel Theo reach into your mind and almost like a hand squeezing a grape, like that, resisting your will, as you take 31 points of psychic damage. Feel the energy of the cauldron kind of resist you as well. This gateway of death. The gateway of the Tempest cracks even louder. Huge bolts of purple lightning and red lightning stringing out of it, slamming into the ground around you. You watch as gravel, rock, and debris explode upward.
Blood is leaking out of the bandages covering my face, where probably some of my orifices have ruptured.
Well, when you say it that way, I need a drink of water.
Oh man, I didn't.
I mean, when you say ruptured orifices, Wintrude, why are there rupturing orifices? Like Orlanth is like hiding behind Alex, and like the wind is beginning to swirl. The Tempest is becoming unstable.
There was a disciple whose soul we didn't release. I mean,
You know, this is why.
Yeah, we did it right.
This is why I wanted to go through the door first. If you guys are asking to take another long sleep after we get through this door.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Well, there's no more building. There's no more door. It's just this platform that's on the ground.
But it never was a door.
Statues, yeah, it decayed into the specters. The big tempest that's been forming behind. It feels like the whole ceremony's become unstable.
So wait, so what happens to? Is it Granji? No, yeah. So I don't think I was there that session. What happened?
Do we have Alphonse with us?
Yeah,
Alphonse is standing alongside Gelmir. Yeah.
So I'm gonna let. Sorry, Tira, I interrupt you. Go on with your thing. But I'm gonna be. I'll say what I would say after. But Wintrude's like this. She's like, it's like she's trying to go back through notes that disappeared way back in that other dimensional room. She's like really concentrating and mumbling to herself. But sorry, you were going to say something. I totally interrupted.
So the one that was protecting the Hellmouth Gate never came into existence because the gate was destroyed rather than solved. So the one remaining statue that hasn't decayed yet, of course, now Chogo is also absorbed one of the specters. After absorbing that specter, the ceremony is getting unstable. The lightning is arcing. You can feel the hairs on your arms and the back of your neck kind of reacting to the dry static shock. Like you can feel the air here is getting more and more dangerous.
I'd like to do a quick prayer to Stormlord Court for calming the tempest, please. If you heard me before, please hear me again and calm this tempest.
You hear a slight voice in your mind here. Of course, it demands sacrifice. The seventh spirit is key to opening the tempest, but the sacrifice of a spirit is anyone's to sacrifice.
All right, take the Death Knight.
But you probably have to do the sacrifice, is what I'm getting, I think.
Oh,
right?
where's
Or am I wrong? I don't know.
Did you say with the Cauldron of Death that I could pull souls from?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, and that's Wintrude's trying to think of stuff of like, you know, like what she's read through and like lore and everything. So she was about to say I didn't want to. That's why I wanted.
You could retrieve the specter out. Because normally putting souls in and then pulling them out for the purposes of wandering the maddening forest was the whole purpose of what the hag used the cauldron for. So you could retrieve a soul from it.
I would like to retrieve a soul from the Nine Hells. I'm leaving Winks in there, but can I pull out a different soul?
Absolutely. Give me a D100. See what it does for you.
It is my intention to.
I hope you pull like a God King or something.
Yeah, to pull basically a very weak but very vile soul. That is my intention.
One of the lords of the Nine Hells.
Because
you watch it drags out. You watch it Shogo drags out Asmodeus.
Yeah, or something. That's what I was thinking.
22.
22?
You're
But a D100? That sounds so D20.
What do you want me to say?
You just pulled a street urchin named Todd.
It's Gorgrim.
Yeah. That'd be funny. All the way back from the beginning. That poor ogre.
He gets one of the new monsters from the Giants book.
No, I haven't bought that book yet. I need to get it.
Good.
Yeah.
So I like this. So 22. Yeah, that would. No, that wouldn't make sense. That's why I didn't put that one in there. But this one does. You begin to drag a yellow and green kind of creature out of the cauldron, but it's surrounded in an amniotic fluid of sorts. And as you pull it from the cauldron, all of its physical organics melt away as a tiefling form begins to hover above as you've withdrawn a Asmodeus tiefling from the 9th level of hell.
Straight from the birth.
And it just sneers at you and gives you this look of contempt.
Shouldn't it be blissed out from the sensation of being released from the cauldron, or is that only mortal souls?
You get the feeling that is probably linked directly to mortal souls. This is something of such corruptible energy and existence. It's more angry at you because you're determining its fate now.
If I can influence the location of where it's going to be pulled towards when it is released from the cauldron, I'd like to get it caught up in the storm's energy.
In the Tempest storm energy?
Yeah.
Okay. You watch as you pull it out and you force it and will it to go up towards the Tempest storm energy. As it does, you watch as energy shocks out, wraps around the form, and shreds it out of existence. You hear this horrific wail of pain and discontent kind of permeate out from its destruction.
I can't tell if I just did a good deed or a horrible deed, or both.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, I don't see how that's like morally, like how we're the good guys in this situation.
It was a demon.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly pleased about it either.
What, Tier, you have high passive perception, right?
Yeah.
And so does Wintrude?
Yeah.
You guys
20.
can't help but notice that Gelmir's tattoos that he got back at the temple are glowing.
Maybe I try again, try and get a mortal soul this time.
Gelmir, does your arm feel warm?
Yeah, but wait, Shogo,
I don't know.
and the tattoos with the glowing.
Oh, hey.
Let me see that. Let me see the symbol. Like, let me see.
And I go over and get a closer look.
Orlath, come here.
Orlanth kind of follows you over to Gelmir. Gelmir's arms are covered in these strange kind of runes and dark symbols, and they're all lit up with a kind of like blue and green light.
Gelmir, I think Shogo gave you the Nurgle.
Oh, shit.
Orlanth reaches in. I think you should give him these antibiotics. This is probably what he needs.
Okay, wait a second.
I'll eat
So, is it something I can decipher with like Eyes of the Runekeeper? Does it form?
Yeah, if
something
you
that
want
I
to use
could-
Eyes of the Runekeeper, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just.
Yeah.
It just
You're
says I
looking at
read
the
all
tattoos.
languages.
You get the feeling that he's got sacrificial tattoos on his arms.
It's my
Well, isn't that
ascension.
convenient?
Finally. I'm turning into a god now, everyone.
Okay, hold that thought. Come here, Orlath.
And then we move aside and we talk to, and we move over to Shogo. I lead Orlath over to Shogo.
Yeah.
Okay, Shogo. Here.
What up?
Here's Gelmir's runes. It was like that, whatever they did to him back in Skullport at the Death Temple. He has been marked in some arcane fashion for sacrifice, for an arcane like sacrifice. like to possibly open this door?
So we have to kill him.
And I'm looking between, like, I'm especially looking at Orlanth, like,
Yeah,
shrugging,
and
'cause
you're
I
like,
don't know.
you guys are looking over at the stone platform where the one statue's still there. The other 5 specters are kind of watching Shogo, and the blank location where the other specter was that they pulled into the cauldron. Meanwhile, the Tempest energy continues to get out of control. Arcs of lightning spitting out of it. It feels like the ceremony is like breaking down. It didn't work, and the outcome could be bad.
So real quick,
I think I understand what to do. I reach into the cauldron again, this time being a lot more discerning with what I feel, like basically what kind of mind that I'm trying to pull out. This time I'm just trying to pull out something that was once mortal, and something on the weaker side, if possible.
All right, give me another D100. Tier, what were you going to do?
I would say hypothetically, if his tattoos are like, marking some type of sacrifice, right? Could it be any soul within the body that could be sacrificed?
Possibly. I mean, as far as Winthrow's concerned, the markings are that his mortal form has been marked with sacrificial magic.
But is that something you say to us, or are you just like kind of metagaming?
I'm saying it to you guys.
Okay.
Does Alphonse have a soul? What I'm getting at is, would it be possible to put in Gelmir's soul into Alphonse and
Wait, but here's
sacrifice
the
the
thing.
little god in Gelmir?
But here's the thing. When Gelmir pulled that card, he has another soul or entity or being in him.
Yeah, but he's only got one body to give.
While this conversation goes on, I pull out whatever you got for a 97.
Oh, a 97? You watch as Shogo pulls out another ambiotic sac out of the cauldron, and as it lands on the ground, a ghostly specter of a succubus kind of comes into existence.
I will the output of the cauldron to be pushed into the statue of Shenix, the one remaining one.
You watch as the succubus hesitates, its wings kind of flapping and its ghostly contrails following it over. It approaches the statue, and as it touches and comes in contact with the statue begins to decay, and then the ghostly form of the succubus sits in that place that the specter would have formed it. You watch as the magic of the ceremony of the Tempest calms down a bit.
Okay, put wings back.
I think I'll keep him for now. One soul will do, as well as another.
But
well, I mean, so I guess does like the lasery thing blast out of where the succubus?
Yeah, the lightning arcs out from the specter.
But it's no longer.
6 specters have the energy arcing out into the Tempest, and where it was getting out of control, it kind of got a little less out of control. And you get the feeling that the Tempest energy is absorbing the spiritual energy.
So, but is the where Winks was? Is that laser or light missing, or that? Energy?
Yeah, there's nothing there except the empty platform where the specter was.
Shogo, you gotta put wings back. Look, there's not the ray, the light. It's not affecting the portal. There's nothing. You gotta give it back.
I pull out another soul in the spot where Winks' statue once stood.
Okay. Give me another D100, and this is your third use of the cauldron, third and final use of the cauldron for the day.
Seems worth it, I would say, considering. 27.
Okay. You watch as another ambiotic sac brought out onto the ground. As you've only offered the cauldron one soul as an option to pull 2 souls from the 9th level of hell, as you pull the ambiotic sac out and you watch as it dissolves and the spirit of an imp, its ghostly form kind of floats above, and you watch as it floats over to where the Winks portion is. But then you watch as this huge, blood-ridden, necrotic hand comes jutting out of the cauldron and immediately just swipes into Shogo. Shogo, give me a con save. Because you only gave it 1 soul and took 2. So...
Still learning.
So actually, technically, you gave it 1 and took 3.
20. Actually, I was like, maybe at this point Winks' soul has been devoured, but I was planning to keep Winks inside the cauldron.
Right, but remember, she used the cauldron to put souls into it and then pull souls out so that they could wander the maddening forest.
I see.
So she was using it as a way to, protect her bargain and her pact with the 9th level of hell. She feeds it, they feed her. 1 in, 1 comes out. In that violation of that pact, the hand comes out and swipes at you, taking half of 31 points of necrotic damage.
Do I have resistance to that? I think I do.
Yep.
All right. So
half again. So you take 8 points of necrotic damage.
Got it.
Total.
So like the cauldron's like a sort of angry give a penny, take a penny tray at the
Yeah, very much so. That's how it controlled the horde that wandered the forest. Before long, the 7th lightning strikes the Tempest. The Tempest settles down, lowers to the ground. You watch as the 7 spirits get consumed into the Tempest. An explosion of energy outbound. As you begin to see a figure walk out of the Tempest, holding a staff, a book, a wand tucked in its belt, a long beard of black and gray white down to their knees, billowing black and ashen robes kind of flailing back and behind the figure. And it just floats out of the Tempest gateway. And it hovers there for a brief second to look at all of you. And that's where we're going to finish tonight. As Alistair Blackcoat has been freed from the Tempest. I stipulate freed.
So wait, we gotta wait until September 10th to find out.
Yeah, September 10th. You guys are going to take on Alistair Blackcloak. It'll be interesting to see how you do it.
I'm about to get his ass
whooped.
I am really hoping that being fed an imp rather than, a master wizard will be detrimental to his wake up.
The line of thought you were taking on that was pretty dead on, Shogo. The weaker the spirits that were bringing him back, the weaker it makes him. So had all 7 disciples been given to him, he would have come back with his full power. But because 2 of the disciples are not given back to him during his escape out of the Tempest storm, he's not quite as strong. He's still a tough hombre, but not quite as strong. So we'll see how it goes.
So you took like 2 hit points off of his.
No, it doesn't work that way.
He's at 70% power.
All right, everybody, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Everybody else, linger for a moment so we can talk about what we're going to do on the September 10th. Don't forget, be kind, be safe, and play a game. And we'll talk to y'all later out there. Bye, everybody. Bye. So I need an assistant to do this for me.